Welcome to the University of Alabama. Hi family, hi Kara, hi Mom, hi Dad, whenever you see this. Here it is in early June 1988. This is my letter. It's a little unusual for a letter, but this will give you an opportunity to see where I'm at, to be more personal, I guess you'd say. For starters, here's the outside of the house I'm in. Here's the back of it. As you saw a minute ago, you saw my car. Now you see where I live. There's the construction on the stadium right there. Now we're about to swing around. Here's our front yard. Guess who cuts the grass here? There's the downstairs part of our house. The doorways that lead into the living room. And again, here's our front yard. It's kind of short because the sidewalk is right there. And before we show you the upstairs, this junk over here is where they're constructing on the stadium right now. It's like down the street, what used to be a street, and then some of the construction. Now we look down the sidewalk, look off into the distance. There's the house. Now we'll walk toward the University of Alabama campus. Toward campus, we now approach the School of Communication parking lot, which is where I turn on my way to my classes. Communication parking lot. In the distance you can see the School of Communication tower for the radio station. As we turn to the right, you'll be able to see more of the stadium, including the construction. Approaching the back of the School of Communication, where we're coming from. In the distance you can see the stadium, another angle. Looking at the back of the University of Alabama School of Communication. In the background you may hear Denny chimes. It is now 5:30 on this Saturday afternoon. Campus looking down Sorority Row, as it's known, with all the sorority houses. Side of the School of Communication. Now we're looking towards the front of it with the columns. And now we're going to be looking up the road. There's the main quad in the heart of campus. Panning to the right, we'll see Rose Administration Building, where the Office of Records and other such information is kept. All the administration of the school. There's one more of the classroom buildings right there. Looking head on at the School of Communication at the University of Alabama. Now as we pan toward the right, you'll see the School of Education, where I'll spend my graduate work and most of my classes will be at. Another view of the quad, the main center of campus. In the distance you see the chimes. Then to the right is Rose Administration. West toward the School of Education. We'll now pan toward the right, looking at other classroom buildings here on the campus of the University of Alabama. And now we're continuing our journey towards the right. Past those trees is the library, which we'll show you later. This is Barnard Hall, where many business courses are taught. Here's yet another one of the many buildings here at the University of Alabama. In the distance now you'll be able to see Rose Towers, where Carol Lee lived last spring. Now changing the view, you'll see Ferguson Center, Student Center, and then some other buildings on campus. And here you'll see the side of the library. Here's Barnard Hall, where they have Air Force ROTC. Back of the main library. Down the road you can see other buildings, and also off to your left as we head up towards Ferguson Center. Said we're in the Gorgas Historic District. There's the Gorgas home, there in the distance. Some of the squirrels playing out here in the courtyard. Here's historic Woods Hall. In the distance you can see Rose Towers. Once again, closer view of Ferguson Center, the main student center on campus. There are the post office boxes at Ferguson Center. In the distance there's Rose Towers. There is the corner of Palmer Hall where I've spent some time. There's Patey Hall right across the street from it. And further dorms there in the background. Down the road you can see even more construction being done on the university campus. Where we're coming from. Up this road here, heading down the road to another part of campus. The scenery of a shortcut that I used to take on the way to class. The place is called Mars Spring. Here's a building in which I've had many classes. It's called Ten Hoer Hall. Of the new parking deck that the university has constructed this spring of 1988. And there in the distance, some more dorms supply much needed parking on this part of the campus. Now we approach the old Music and Speech Building, soon to be replaced for a new Music and Speech Building. Not sure what the new use of this building will be. View of our library. Here across the street from the back of the library you see Manley and Clark Halls, two very attractive buildings here at the campus. Barnard Hall. next to Clark Hall. The Geology Building at the University of Alabama. This is where the United States Bureau of Mines is located. There's Denny Chimes in the distance. Here's the main engineering building at the University of Alabama. In the distance, other buildings. There's the side of the engineering building with little birdies by it. We have a lot of wildlife on this campus, birds and squirrels. And there's more buildings down the street. So the foreign language houses. Then on down the street, you'll be able to see more buildings. A view of the Geology Building at the University of Alabama. Geology Building. And Palmer Hall, where math and psychology are taught. To the famous Paul W. Bryant Hall, where the athletic students stay. Fraternity houses. Here's the Baptist Student Center. Student Health Center at the University of Alabama, a very large building. Now we approach the Catholic Student Center. One of our tame squirrels at the University of Alabama. Very cultured and highly educated squirrel. To one of the dorms, Mary Burke Hall. Auditorium, where former Governor George Wallace stood in the proverbial schoolhouse door. Ironically, you see the "Do Not Enter" sign. There's Moore Hall, and yet more halls. Barnard Hall, the School of Law at the University of Alabama. Lee Hall. Astronomy and physics are taught here. There's Knott Hall. Denny Chimes. Here's the university's library, front view, from the quad. Denny chimes is the handprints and footprints of many of Alabama's All-Americans and captains through the years. Here's the president's mansion. Now I guess it's time to round third and head for home here at the University of Alabama. Thank you for joining us on this tour. May you have a good day.